Hi everyone, Lola here. First off, I want to apologize for the glare on my glasses. I tried everything to adjust and it's still there. So y'all are just going to have to deal with it, alright? Because I can't see without them. So, today is April 24th, which means it's the day of the release party. Yes, we're celebrating the release of Caught by Blue Rose, which is the second book in my Men of Turtle Creek series. That is my clean series, just a reminder. Family of Fire, not so clean. Some books are, some books aren't. So, as promised, I'm here to answer some questions. You may hear some music playing. One of the questions that was asked by one of my readers, a Miss Liette, she asked, do you listen to music when you write, or do you need complete silence? And if you do listen to music, what kind? I listen to music. I love music. Music is inspirational. Specifically, I love country music. The lovely lady I'm listening to right now is Martina McBride. Love her. She is an incredible singer. I've listened to country music since I was about 10 years old. First time I heard it, it was just an instant connection. You see, when I hear music, especially country music, I hear stories. But the stories are in musical form, obviously. And it's like each song is its own little book that's singing to me. And yes, I know that sounds crazy. But one thing y'all need to know about me right now is I'm a little crazy. In a good way, though. So, yes, I listen to music, and I love it. Next question. Now, before I go on, I wanted to say that I've gotten everybody's questions, but some of them are kind of the same questions with the same answers, just worded a different way. So, if you think I forgot shit, I didn't, I promise. So, from Sheila, she said, what inspires you the most when you're writing? What gets your creative juices flowing? Also, another reader also asked, what is my muse? Which is kind of the same thing. Really? It's family. Everything in my life comes down to family. Love and connection. Family will always be the most important thing in my life. I view family above everything. And I know some people might disagree with it, but if I didn't have my kids and if I didn't have my husband, I really don't know what I'd do. They are the loves of my life. And so they inspire me. Everything. Okay? Every single hero that you see in my books, they are based on my husband. At least traits. They're not all the same. Well, every man has multiple traits, let's be honest. I see my children, and I am inspired by them, too. Because they're so different. I have 3 children. And my oldest, he's 6. I have a daughter who's 5, and my youngest is almost 3. And they're so different and unique and beautiful. My oldest is, I guess you'd call him the typical oldest child. Very serious, very protective. He is a complete family man already. I mean, he's 6 years old and he's already planning on getting married, having a career, having a family, and I keep telling him, slow down there, Tiger. He can grow up too fast. And sometimes it's like I have a 6-year-old going on 20. And my daughter, she's nothing like me. When I was a kid, I was a complete and total tomboy. Seriously. The only way you could get me into a dress is if it was required by school. And as soon as I got home, I took it off and put on my pants. My daughter's complete opposite. I mean, she'll wear pants, But she loves dresses. She loves being a princess. She loves being prissy. She wants to be a fashion dress designer. Can you believe that? I'm sorry. I'm being incorrect, because if she saw this, she'd probably yell at me. She wants to be a wedding dress designer. Yeah, she's also already planning on her family. Although, according to her, I'm going to be taking care of her kids, because she's going to be traveling the world with her husband. Go figure. And then, of course, there's my little one. He's almost 3, but oh my gosh, he's such a brawler. There's no other way. He's complete rough and tumble. He's the kind of kid you know is going to be on the football team, at least if he gets big enough. He's real small for his age, height-wise. He's perfect in my mind, though. I love him just the way he is. But, he's a very broad-chested. So he is the kind of person you see on a football team. Literally. And I've seen that boy run into a wall full speed, crack his head. Literally, he hasn't cracked it open, thank goodness. But he's cracked his head, got big old noggins, falls down, laughs his head off, and goes running off to do more. And I imagine them when they grow up. My oldest says he wants to be a meteorologist. And I can see him doing that. He definitely has that analytical mind. And I can just imagine how that's going to be when he gets older. And my daughter, I have no doubt in my mind, she's going to be totally into the fashion world. And my youngest, the way he obsesses with sports and cars and the military, I have no idea, or no doubt, I've got a little military man on the way. But I see them and I imagine what they're going to be like. And it makes me inspired, because it really falls into these heroes and heroines, even just the random people that I put in a book. They all draw on my life, on my kids, on my husband. And that really is the most important thing you're ever going to have in life. It's your family. You don't have to have kids or even a husband to have family. I don't want anybody to think that, you have to have kids to be complete, because you don't. I have a friend. She's a very good friend of mine. She doesn't have kids. She is married, but she doesn't have kids, and she's completely happy. And you want to know something? I'm happy for her. Because as long as you're happy and you're living a good life, that's what's important to me. And that completely just went off subject. Sorry. All right, next question. Let's see. Eve wanted to know where my ideas came from. That's pretty much kind of what I was saying. Leona said, what inspired you to write? And why did you choose to write historical westerns? Well, I started reading when I was 3 years old, and reading was my escape. I did not grow up in the best situation, and unfortunately, books were the only way I would feel safe. By the time I was 8 years old, I knew I was going to be a writer. I didn't know I'd be writing novels, but back then I was writing poems and short stories. Oh my gosh, I wrote this short story about a little 8-year-old girl named Rubiana who had 12 older brothers who became the superhero heroine who was saving the world. And interestingly enough, she lived in the Old West. Go figure. But I became very interested in westerns and historical books when I was about 16. That's when I found romance. And it was Cassie Edwards. She is an incredible writer. I really wish she was still writing. But she wrote these Native American historical westerns that, oh my gosh, they were just incredible. And I would just find myself taken away into a place that was completely different from where I was at. I wasn't a bad teenager, but I was a little difficult. So whenever I would get into fights with my adoptive mother, books. Just take me to the books. But that really is what pulled me into it. And, commenting on the situations I grew up, that also comes into play with my writing. Every single person in my books, as I was saying before, is inspired by my family. But you want to know something? My villains, they're not inspired by my family, but they are inspired by people I did know. I've known some very dark people, and it shaped who I am. It made me the person I am today because I chose to not let the awful things that happened to me and the awful things that I saw damage my life. And, I gotta say that part of it was my older sister. She's not bad. She's a character. But I watched how she dealt with certain issues, and I realized how I wanted to and how I didn't want to deal with it by watching her and also my other foster sisters. I had some incredible foster parents as well. My last set of foster parents, really. And they are still my parents. I was adopted after I was in their home, but to this day, they are my parents. They're my mommy and daddy. And I love them to death. And, every parental figure in my book is based on what I've seen from them, on the love that they gave me, and the love and compassion that they showed for all of us. My morals, everything I put into my books. It comes from everything that happened as I grew up. Even the losses in my books. I've had people ask me, why did you kill the two youngest in the Moore family? And there was two reasons for that. It was kind of twofold. One, and this wasn't the most important reason, but one, it was because they were so young. It didn't make sense, really, that they would be actively looking for their family, that they would be affected by that. But mostly it was because I myself lost two brothers. One when I was 10 and one just before I was 16. And it affected me. It shaped everything. Everything after each of their deaths that came after shaped me for who I am. So when you read my books, you're reading a bit of me, just with a little bit of a twist, a little bit of a change, and of course, a happy ending. Now, not everything is happy, obviously. I'm sure that if you've read Caught by a Blue Rose, you've seen a very sad part in the epilogue. If you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil it. But that was also based on something that I went through. A similar loss. It wasn't the same, but it was actually quite recently. I've been through this type of loss many times, but I'm sure you realize, everyone knows that the debt came out late, and it was because I was recovering. And a lot of sad things happen in life, and we can't change them. And as much as I want to give everybody a happy ending, and I try to, I also want to keep it realistic. Sorry. All right, next question. I need to stop being so serious. All right. This person says, with small children, how do you find the time to write? Another person said, how do you juggle writing and family? And I was also asked, are you a stay-at-home mother? First, yes, I am a stay-at-home mother. My husband works full-time. He's got a very good job, which I'm very proud of him for. But I am a stay-at-home mother to our 3 children. Our oldest is in 1st grade. Our daughter is in transitional kindergarten, which is a 2-year kindergarten program. Isn't that fun? And our youngest, obviously, he's home all day. And so, I spend my time taking care of him, taking care of them, cooking, cleaning, all the boring stuff, but fun stuff too. Because when you have kids, it's pretty fun sometimes. Most times. But here's how we do it. Okay, my husband, he works pretty late. He gets off work about midnight. It takes him more than an hour to get home. So he doesn't get to bed until sometimes 4 o'clock in the morning. And that means that I'm the one who gets up most of the time with the kids in the morning. And